And at the end of the day, you still have Dusty Baker. And
they just perform in the playoffs.
They perform in the playoffs.
Whether
now you could
banging trash cans or not, they still get it done, right? Right? Like,
hey, if Rob Ranford doesn't take the trophy away or whatever, he might as well. And I understand that the women, there are other countries in this World Cup that did not have the funding or whatever, but their expectations are different. I understand Nigeria doesn't have that. I understand Vietnam. I understand Philippines did not have that. But Canada Soccer just showed you they won Olympic gold. Where is their training? Where is their practices? What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the BTR podcast. Before we continue, thank you for all the love and support. We're getting more subscribers, and the support on the podcast we did with Jeevan. If you guys haven't watched it, make sure you guys tune in.
yeah, we're slowly growing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, just like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like these. Also, the sports content, like, is always going to be happening Monday and Thursdays. So let's get into it.
Yeah, let's go. MLB Trade Deadline. Let's just start with that right away. It happened Tuesday. So at the time of this recording was yesterday. So Tuesday. Let's just get into the trades. And then we'll just talk about the big trades.
Yeah, talk about the big trades.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about some people we don't know, but you might know some of these guys. So get your phone ready in case I miss anyone. Right off the bat, let's just start with the Blue Jays.
Let's just do the Blue Jays, right?
Yeah, just get it over because we know that trade. It was...
We'll try not to talk too long about the Blue Jays because, not everyone likes them.
We'll go off the bat. We're going to go... The Blue Jays and the Cardinals made another trade. So all the deals that Jays have done, during the season have all been with the Cardinals. So it's... And then even in history, like... Scott Rowland, Kobe Rasmus. You've seen so many trades between the two teams as well. But it was Paul DeJong shortstop for Matt Swanson. Minor league pitcher who just got promoted to Double-A. Was recently with Vancouver. He was near us, man.
Yeah, we did. I probably didn't watch him. Right?
Yeah. I double checked if he was a pitcher from that.
Honestly, we didn't pay attention because we started watching the fights there.
No. The first bit we did.
Yeah, no, but he's a bullpen guy, no?
No.
He's a starter?
He should be a starter, yeah.
Okay, then never mind then. Then we did pay attention.
Okay, so off the bat, this trade was simply because of Bo Bichette's... Not simple. It may have been even if Bo Bichette wasn't injured, but we feel like personally, both of us, that was because of the Bo Bichette injury. We had no clue what was happening. Blessing in disguise, that injury happened before. Obviously, we're not happy he got injured. He was probably your best player this year.
He is our best player.
Well, you could argue the pitchers too, but in terms of our best hitter, yeah. And yeah, so I think this was just an insurance. He was one of the two best available potentially between him and Tim Anderson. So
there's not many hitters available either.
Yeah, the theme of this you'll notice is we're going to be naming a lot of pitchers more so than hitters. So he was one of the few hitters that did get traded. It was just an insurance policy. Bo Bichette is thankfully not torn anything or whatsoever.
There's no structural
10-day IL. So
10-day IL, no structural damage or anything like that.
First game he already won today, so that's good. But
we already lost the other two.
But he didn't play in them. That's the key.
Huh?
He didn't play in them.
Who?
He played yesterday?
Who? Paul DeJong?
Yeah.
Oh no, Paul DeJong got traded yesterday.
Yeah, so I'm saying he played today.
Also, he's 1-0 as a Blue Jay, yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So we're undefeated with him right now. But yeah, no, this was just simply... I know we were targeting Teoscar Hernandez as well. Didn't happen. We'll get into that in our winners and losers for a second. But yeah, your reactions quickly on the trade. We don't need to go too much. We are obviously added two relief
obviously where you have
well.
Jordan Hicks and Genesis Cabrera. And then obviously another Cardinal, Paul DeJong. Like you said, is just... I think this deal would have went down even if Bo Bichette didn't get injured. Reason being, I feel like Ross Atkins, he said he wanted to add some infield depth.
Well, yeah, so obviously people thought we were going to go out power bat, which is why Teoscar Hernandez, the guys like that were linked. With Paul DeJong, it was mainly the shortstop position. He's obviously a better defender than Bo Bichette, but not as good as a hitter. He's a very inconsistent hitter. He was second in Rookie of the Year to Cody Bellinger.
And he had a 30 home run season.
And he had a 30 home run season where he was all-star as well.
And then ever since then,
he's been up and down.
It's been up and down, very inconsistent.
So he has, if he's on with the Jays, then it's a good trade, obviously. But defensively, it helps. So even though Bo Bichette's been better, but we have a defensive option if need be late games as well.
Yeah, but the thing with Paul DeJong is he's like Matt Chapman-esque kind of defensively, and obviously they're gonna be on the
They're on the same side
of the infield as well.
Our defense has already been a plus this year, and we just made it better.
Yeah,
especially with obviously our outfield defense has been insane. Infield defense just got better now.
And the thing with him is like, if Paul DeJong does does decent on the hitting side, right? We could always limit Varshall's at bats by moving Merrifield to the outfield, and when Bichette comes back, DeJong could go to second base.
Yeah, I don't know if he's just more of a second or third base. I don't know.
If you're a shortstop, you should be able to play second base too.
Yeah, so we'll see.
It's like literally the same thing.
Yeah, so
just shorter distance.
Yeah, we'll just keep it there. Obviously, we'll get into the aftermath of our favorites to come out now.
Yeah, it's just an insurance deal type thing.
Yeah, most likely. Little surprised we didn't add another power bat, but obviously, like you said, the market wasn't there. I was gonna ask you a question before, but remind me of a question I was gonna ask you after we recap this. Let's go off the biggest trade, I think. Justin Verlander.
Yeah,
back Astros to the Mets to the Astros for two minor league guys. I'm assuming a lot of these guys are minor league.
Yeah, they're two prospects. I think one of them is really good.
So
I don't know which one's really good, but I know one of them's really good.
Mets or no? We're not gonna talk about the Mets right now, but Houston, obviously they were struggling this year. Shout out to Framber Valdez. I'll just say it right now. No hitter on 90 pitches or whatever it was.
Like the fewest.
One of the fewest pitches.
Like one of the fewest in a long time.
Yeah. So Framber Valdez. Obviously now you add Justin Verlander back, who was Cy Young last year, if I'm not mistaken.
And he's returning back to form this year because he started off slow.
Yeah.
And now he's found his game a little bit.
Going back to familiar spot again. Yeah. So Justin Verlander will help the Astros. This is where it's gonna get tough. Right, because we're gonna obviously preview we're gonna give our predictions in a second. So that was the first trade.
Yeah, but now let's just jump to the next one because now from being teammates to division rivals.
We already talked about Max Scherzer.
Yeah, no, but I'm just trying to bring this point
up.
Oh
yeah. I was gonna bring that up too. I forgot.
Yeah, because Max Scherzer is now a Ranger, so then they're also.
And they're neck and neck for
they're neck and neck for first place as well.
Yeah, so they obviously reunited with the Mets. From Detroit days.
Yeah.
And obviously both of them in their own right are been aces in Washington and Detroit respectively. And like you said, were high paid pitchers. The reason why Mets paid them. And yeah, like you mentioned, they're going back. But you mentioned Max Scherzer. Did you hear his little post game? Or not post game, the press conference.
What did he say?
31, she's like, I had a conversation with the Mets and they want to go back. And go back on a few things, and they're not looking to be serious for the next year or two. Now we'll just talk about it right now since I kept alluding to the Mets. Do you buy that? Because Steve Cohen has money, right? I like what the Mets did in terms of right now, right before the season. The expectations were different. They failed the expectations. At least they recognized that and got rid of a lot of guys.
And they got some good prospects, right? I think they got one of Houston's top prospects.
They got
Acuna's brother and Luis Angel Acuna.
Yeah.
Which is Texas' top prospect. So they definitely gotten better in the prospect sides of things. But if Ohtani's available in free agent, I'm pretty sure Steve Cohen's gonna throw the bag at him.
Yeah, maybe this is why he's trying to save some money that way. But he's still paying I think 50% of their contracts too, I believe. So on the Mets side of things, I've seen a lot of grades, and they give him an A or a B just because they recognized it. They got rid of obviously we'll get into the trade later.
Mark Canha, Tommy Pham.
Yeah, so
it's the usual pieces that were targets at the whole time.
Now
Tommy Pham's a Diamondback who
we'll get into that in a second. Let's just finish this off quickly. I know I cut you off. Scherzer versus Verlander. Yeah, it's gonna be pretty fun to watch down the stretch now because both teams are trying to win the division. And obviously Houston's been disappointing for their standards. Rangers have been excelling, and now they're gonna battle at it again.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun to watch for sure. And I know we mentioned the last part as well. Scherzer and DeGrom reunited.
Yeah, so but we don't even know what DeGrom's health is right now. So
I would expect both teams to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Just don't know who's gonna win the division now at this rate.
Yeah. All right, like you were mentioning, Tommy Pham.
Yeah, Tommy Pham to Diamondbacks with Diamondbacks also acquiring Paul Sewald, the Seattle closer as well.
Yeah.
So they made a couple of good moves there. And they're looking serious, to make that little playoff push.
They're currently out of a spot. by like half a game or so, like one.
Yeah,
game.
it's a tight race.
So it's a tight race between like I think San Francisco just won their 60th game of the season, joining
San Francisco,
Atlanta and the Dodgers. As the only other 60 teams in the NL, not in the AL.
So San Francisco's first in division.
No, that's they joined the 60. They're in the 60-win club in the NL now too.
Yeah, so
I think Dodgers are still up by like
Dodgers
a game
are still up, right?
Yeah.
So I think San Fran and Arizona had a big series right now. I think San Fran won it.
Yeah.
So I remember watching this I think game 1 of the series. They were like in the extra innings, so it was a good game to watch there. But yeah, no, Arizona adding these 2 pieces, showing that like, you know, they're trying to really make a push here.
Yeah.
Because they're on the brink.
Yeah, no, I like what the D-backs are doing. They're kind of doing what the Mariners did last year by bringing in Luis Castillo. In this case, they bring in obviously a batter.
And a closer.
And a closer in Paul Sewell. So it's like they're there, right? Like obviously no one expected them to be this good. And yes, they may have struggled out of the All-Star break a little bit because they're now no longer in a playoff spot like they once were. But this will obviously help propel them. There's still like 2 months to go, right? Baseball's baseball. Anything could happen, right? So yeah, moving on. Let's go. I'm going to go in order here quickly before I forget. Jack Flaherty.
Yeah, Jack Flaherty, Orioles, trying to bolster their starting pitching.
They were heavily linked to Justin Verlander. Obviously, that trade didn't go down, and then this trade happened like 10 minutes before the deadline.
Yeah, I guess they just wanted to add whoever was just remaining type of thing, right? Jack Flaherty obviously is a decent pitcher, not the greatest on the market, obviously, but he will help them for a little bit there.
He starts tomorrow or today when this pod comes out. So by the time this pod comes out, I think the Jays play early game anyway.
Yeah,
so
Jays start at
pitching
12 PST.
So by the time this comes out, he'll already be pitching, so you'll know how he's doing on his new team. But like we mentioned, the Orioles obviously above and beyond, they're killing it. Their hitting is insane. Their bullpen's insane. Their pitching, even their starting pitching is decent. It's just that was their weakest point, and even though it wasn't like their weakest point, like killing them, they made it better.
Yeah, they made it better. Another thing the Orioles, I think, should have done is add a little bit more bullpen depth, right? Because, you know, you have your 2-headed monster in Cano and Batista, but like, if you want a guy coming in before them, you know, trying to help you get yourselves to the 8th inning where you could put in Cano and then eventually Batista, would have been a nice piece to add as well.
Yeah. All right. Josh Bell to the Marlins, along with Jake Burger to the Marlins. So obviously, White Sox gave up Jake Burger and Josh Bell from the Guardians for John Segura, who got released as well. So,
oh wow, he got released.
Yeah, so Guardians, I believe, released him, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, so similar situation to the Diamondbacks. They're trying to they're in a playoff spot right now, went above and beyond this year. They're just adding, bats to their name. Yeah, there's nothing else.
I think both guys have decent power. I don't know if they're showing it well this year, but so I mean, it's good ads for the Marlins. They're taking a chance, like the Diamondbacks, right? Unexpected team, and this is like without peak Alcantara as well, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know if he's been doing good recently or not, but like obviously before the All-Star break,
even though Luis Urias was killing it, he kind of went down a bit, even though that's still saying a lot because he's still leading batting average, but once upon a time was a 400 hitter. So he's now in the 300s, which is still insane, but we were used to seeing some greatness for a second there. But
yeah, I mean, it's hard to keep up, right? Yeah, that's right. But no, you got a leadoff guy, right? You got a little bit of power in Bell, right? And Jake Burger, the best name in baseball, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So we'll see if getting on base, obviously power, bringing him home. Maybe that's what they needed a little bit more.
Yeah.
Driving in runners in scoring position type thing. So we'll see how those moves work out for them.
Let's move on to the Padres. So they did quite a bit of moves. So they were one of the teams that were supposed to sell. Obviously didn't, right? Because they went on a pretty decent run to kind of put them back in playoff spot. But again, are they going to make it? We don't know. But, they're going for it. Like we mentioned last pod, I will bet on their talent all day, every day, just because it's that elite. Juan Soto, Fernando Tatis, Manny Machado, so on and so forth. On the pitching side, you got Blake Snell, arguable Cy Young. Maybe Cy Young, but in the candidacy, you got Joe Musgrove, also in that similar stat. Darvish has been up and down, but Yeah, they added a relief pitcher in Scott Barlow
Had
from
a
the
great
Royals.
year last year. Not so much this year, but still,
They also
these solid pitchers.
also added starting pitcher Rich Hill from the Pirates, who shit the bed. Considering what they were.
Pirates, right? They're last place in their division.
Now they're last place or like teetering with the
yeah,
Cardinals.
Rich Hill's a veteran.
And your boy you liked a lot, G-Man Choi.
I just like his name.
Yeah.
So
they added those 3 pieces. Obviously, they're trying to make a run for it. They're currently, if I'm not mistaken, standings, National League. So they are 8.5 game out of the division, but out of
division's out of reach.
wild card, they have 4 games, right? So they still have a decent chance.
They are wild card.
They're
team.
1 game under 500 at this moment. I don't know if this is the most updated one. So they could possibly even be 500 or 2 below 500. But as of right now on the score app, it says they're under 500. So yeah, that's what the Padres did. And then, like I said, just bet on the talent and hopefully they just get there.
Yeah, so I mean, those are like the big names, right?
Michael Lorenzen to the Phillies.
Yeah, that's a big ad. He's a multi-inning guy.
Phillies are turning it around. Bryce Harper's healthy.
Yeah, Phillies definitely are turning around. I think they should be one of the wildcard teams, right?
Yeah.
Because Atlanta got the division locked right now.
Yeah, so those are Brad Hand is to the Braves.
Brad Hand, the worst acquisition in my Blue Jays history on the deadline.
Am I missing any? Mark Canha to the Brewers.
Oh, this dude right here.
Mark Canha to the Brewers.
Yeah, Mark Canha to the Brewers, but this guy's name was coming off a lot. He's to the Cubs, which is Jaimar Candelario.
Yes,
from the Nationals.
Yeah.
So
he was
Cubs are also.
He was somewhat linked to the Jays. I remember
Yeah.
seeing some reports before he got traded to the Cubs. Cubs are the same thing.
Cubs are the same thing as
They're
the
actually
Diamondbacks.
better than the Padres right now. They're, once upon a time, were the Blue Jays or the Yankees going to trade for Cody Bellinger? Were the Blue Jays going to get Marcus Stroman or the Orioles going to get Marcus Stroman? No. So they decided to run it back, which, they're only like 2 games out, so it doesn't matter. They could still make it, right? So, yeah. I think those are the big ones. Randall Grichuk, did that happen July 30th? I think we were done recording. Yeah, so this happened right after we were done recording.
Yeah.
Randall Grichuk and CJ Cron. Because, Jordan Montgomery happened before we recorded.
Yeah,
okay,
Jordan
so
happened before.
Randall Grichuk, CJ Cron got traded to the Angels. And that's big because, obviously, they're not trading Ohtani. They're trying to convince them that we're serious. And, again, similar situation as the Padres, mainly.
Yeah, they got, obviously, in recent years, CJ Cron has been pretty decent for the Rockies. I don't think he was too much this year. And then Randall Grichuk's hitting 300.
Yeah.
So, obviously, they're decent ads. Randall Grichuk was like a Blue Jays target, too, potentially.
Yeah. I think, that's it for the trades. So, we'll get into who our winners and losers are. But before that, a couple of, names that were linked to places. Teoscar Hernandez, they were saying that he was for sure going to get traded, didn't get traded.
Free agent
as well. They thought that his value would help him still make the playoffs. Again, they're in range.
That's why Sewell got traded too, because Sewell the
they thought that
agent as well.
Yeah, for him. That's why we're gonna get into Seattle in a second. But that was one name. Ty France, another one from Seattle. Dylan Cease, and I know you said they weren't gonna get traded, but there were reports that they were shopping him with like 10-15 minutes to go before, and nothing panned out.
Yeah, Dylan Cease was gonna get you your biggest return, for the White Sox.
Yeah,
but I felt like they still have club control over him and Luis Robert.
He was also being shopped.
Yeah, so I was a little bit. I thought those two were like the only pieces that won't be moved by the White Sox, but I guess I was wrong.
Any other names?
Off the top of my head, obviously Tim Anderson.
Yeah,
I genuinely thought Blue Jays were getting Tim Anderson.
Chicago's done. Essentially, Chicago was a fire sale.
Yeah, White Sox are done. Mets are done, and yeah, really that's it. Mariners for me are a little bit mixed because I didn't really understand what they were doing.
Okay, so like I said, let's go winners and losers.
Yeah, let's just get into it right now because.
So you're starting with the Mariners. Obviously, you bring them the loser.
Yeah, I'm gonna put Mariners and losers because I can't talk. Mariners as a loser because you traded your way a closer, all right. You were planning on shopping.
You
could potentially lose
AJ Pollock and a couple of veteran pieces there.
Yeah, you could potentially lose Teoscar Hernandez for free now. Yes, you may not be having the greatest season, but it's better to lose him for get a little bit of something in return for him, right?
Yeah, no, so that's the thing that confuses me. Their explanation was Teoscar helps them win now. So if that was the case,
then why'd you
trade your closer?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I understand you have decent arms, right? Felix Bautista, wrong team.
Felix Bautista and Orioles.
The minute I said that, wrong team. I'm mixing the two. Castro? No. What's his name?
Diego Castillo.
Yes.
Is he even on the Mariners? But that guy moves a lot, I remember. But no, another guy, like one of the guys they do have is Matt Brash.
Yeah.
The guy from last year in the playoffs against
That's
the
the guy. Was in Castillo?
Munoz.
Munoz.
Yeah, Munoz.
Yeah. Okay. So.
I think he's been injured for a bit this year.
But yeah, I know. But again, if you're trying to win, how are you trading away your closer? I don't understand that, right? Like either you're selling or you're buying or you're staying put. They half sold and half stayed put. It made no sense. Like I understand trading Paul Sewald made sense because he was the highest value right now and teams need closers and clearly the D-backs wanted him and you traded him because that was the highest value you got. But how much of a push are you going to make? Is Teoscar Hernandez going to re-find his Blue Jays form or his earlier in the season form?
He's hitting lefties well, but like that's pretty much it. Also, Diego Castillo's not there anymore. They added in Trent Thornton and former Blue Jay.
Oh, that was a trade.
Yeah. I mean, Trent Thornton had a good outing yesterday or 2 days ago. I think he went like 2 innings and like 1 hit only allowed.
They're just
now like generally like your 2 guys out of the bullpen now are gonna be like Matt Brash and Andres Munoz.
Yeah.
Like those are your 2 like big arms. And obviously you trade away Swanson in the
for Teoscar
Hernandez. Yeah. I feel like they didn't want to trade Teoscar back to the Blue Jays.
That could have been it, but like, they're saying that, who knows?
They're like basically if we do that, we're accepting defeat for the trade.
Yeah.
So maybe Blue Jays were definitely there like that. I mean, I'm confident the Blue Jays were trying to get that batter, but other than Teoscar, I don't really think anyone else was there.
Yeah, like Tommy Pham and them, but again,
like Tommy Pham was gone. Right, Mark Hanna was gone, so Grichuk was gone. I think Grichuk would have been their last option.
Yeah,
but Grichuk was gone a day before.
Yeah, I didn't see many names linked to them after the trade, like based on like reporters, like after the De Jong trade. So yeah, it was other than Teoscar Hernandez. They're saying that we were the favorites. But shall I go another loser because I have a loser, but I have also
go
a
with loser. Just go with losers.
Okay, loser. New York Yankees.
Yeah.
No clue what you guys are doing. Like today they were chanting "Fire Cashman," their GM, and it makes sense, right? Because you're not used to seeing the Yankees last place at this point. It's been like over 2 decades that they were last place.
Yeah, it's been
at this point of the season.
At this point, and it's also rare to see that they didn't add anyone.
Yeah, like they added one piece. Like everybody's like, okay,
Matt Piece.
Like they were linked to Cody Bellinger. They were linked to Randall Grichuk. Neither happened. Obviously, Bellinger was off the market, but again, like they're not that far out. At the end of the day, all 5 teams in the playoffs, AL East are in the playoff hunt.
Yeah, they're
right?
3.5 games behind the Blue Jays.
They didn't sell
Blue
either.
Blue Jays are the last wild card spot. Red Sox are 2.5 behind right now. Currently.
And then Yankees are another game
and
behind.
Yankees are 3.5.
Yeah, so
behind. So
I just don't know what they're doing.
Like you're not out of it.
You didn't sell. Like last year, I know the Red Sox kind of sold, and this year the Red Sox kind of gave away pieces as well. And the same thing. I'm gonna put them both together. The Red Sox and the Yankees both.
It's just confusing. It's just genuinely confusing. Like
it's just, I'm gonna package them together because you genuinely are not that far off. The Red Sox have a good record against the Jays this year. Like they're undefeated against the Jays.
They're undefeated.
So when they play this year again, they could make it close. Like last time when they swept them, they still couldn't pass them.
They're Orioles tomorrow. The Jays are playing.
Yeah,
and then it's a 3-game at Fenway against Red Sox.
Yeah, so
obviously you're 2.5 behind.
If we win tomorrow, the Jays win tomorrow, Red Sox lose. Let's say that means if the Red Sox sweep us again, they're tied with us.
They're half game behind.
Yeah, so why wouldn't they just add pieces? Because if the Blue Jays are barely holding on, like you saw the Blue Jays make some moves to help them out, right? Now, are they over the top moves? Maybe not. It was just an insurance move. But you're seeing teams like who I'm gonna go to my winner now, Texas.
Yeah, Texas Rangers are a winner.
They add 2 starters and a Max Scherzer and Jordan Montgomery.
Yeah, Jordan Montgomery.
And then they also already a decent team. Those are the 2 big ads they had.
Yeah.
Right? And then
hitting wise, they're already set.
Yeah.
Like you spent your money on Simeon Seager. You got Adolis Garcia, who's an all-star. Jonah Heim. Josh Jung, Rookie of the Year candidate.
Yeah.
That's like 5 batters right there.
So
Yeah, I think those are off the top. Those are 5 I could think of right now.
Yeah, and they just went out and they addressed more pitching, like you said, with DeGrom injured, and now Eovaldi's on
They
the
got an
IL
ace,
for a little
like,
bit.
and then if DeGrom comes back, they have a double ace and Eovaldi being your 3,
Yeah,
and then Montgomery being your 4.
yeah,
Like, you have
so
in playoffs, you need 4 legit starters, right? They have that right now.
yeah,
If they're all healthy, hopefully.
yeah, like I'm gonna throw in Houston and the winners again. I'm gonna package them together because they added Verlander. They're literally neck and neck, right? They're literally the opposite of what the Yankees and the Red Sox are doing.
Yeah, yeah, I would agree. Astros are winners. I would just they're like, for me, they're like a small dub team,
Yeah,
right? They're not like big dub like Rangers, but no, Verlander obviously is definitely gonna help, especially what he did for you last year.
yeah.
He
Another
did
winner.
struggle in the playoffs though.
Another winner for me. I'm gonna package these two together as well because they're both sellers. The Mets and the Cardinals. Obviously the Mets were going off their money, so they did sell. They weren't like overly curious. So I like the trades they did to get off. Now preseason, I don't give a shit. They're still like an F team.
Both of these are F teams performance wise, but like what they did at the deadline
Was smart.
Yeah, they did
added
a smart
like
move,
solid
right?
prospects. They could package them for anyone
I
else.
would say
that they
Mets
do.
definitely did better than the Cardinals, because Cardinals didn't really get too much in return.
Who knows? But we'll see how prospects
Like
pan out. But
Blue
yeah.
Jays, they got a Blue Jays 7th prospect, and then nothing else really from the Blue Jays.
Orioles, they got a couple of them. Jack Leary.
Yeah, from Orioles, they probably got a couple pieces, but
yeah, I'm still putting. At least they acknowledge that they gotta sell, right?
I mean, they still have Arenado and Goldschmidt, so those guys are getting older a little bit.
And then D-back, same thing. I'm putting them on my winners just because they're going for it, and I love it.
They're going for it.
Okay.
So what would you say Blue Jays are?
What do you mean?
Like winner or loser?
They're like in the middle still. Like
They're in the middle. They're mixed emotions.
They added insurance. So they're a winner because they added an insurance piece, right?
No,
Like,
it's a mixed emotion. They're not either.
yeah, but if I had to pick one, it'd be a winner because they addressed. Like, imagine if Bo Bichette was out longer and they didn't fix that. Like, would you really want Santiago Espinal being your only shortstop?
Yeah, not
right.
really.
So in that case, they're a winner, but they're in the middle.
That was like a must move. That's not like
Yeah, but that's what makes they easily could have been like, nah, we have Espinal, right? So,
it's not a winner, not a loser.
yeah,
That's
same
what
thing.
it is.
Okay, so this is
Well, I'm not even gonna pick one.
last one for this. The Angels. It's a wait and see for me.
It's a loser for me right now.
No, here's the thing.
But if they make the playoffs, it'll be a winner.
No, not even that. Like, if Ohtani resigns, it's a winner. If Ohtani doesn't resign, they're a loser, especially if they don't make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like, even if they make the playoffs, they have to go far.
Even if they make the playoffs and Ohtani doesn't resign, I'll give them the winners.
I would, depending on how far they go. Like, if they get out of the wild card, I don't care. You gave up your second and third best prospects in a trade for Giolito, right? So, yeah, you like the aggressiveness, but does it convince Ohtani to stay is a question. Like, and especially if you don't make the playoffs and he leaves, that's a lose right there. So
that's the biggest L in
yeah.
history.
So at that point, you might as well just trade Mike Trout as well. But, yeah, so that's it for the deadline mainly. I know we're like speed running this a little bit.
Yeah,
I do have a question for you. Do you have one too?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, who are your favorites coming out of each league? What
Okay.
happened?
Sorry, I forgot to mention one big thing.
What?
Eduardo Rodriguez.
Oh yeah.
That's big. Before we get to that,
Yeah, Eduardo Rodriguez.
So he did get traded.
Yeah.
I'm putting. Oh, those of you on audio can't see, but I'm doing air quotes. It's because he had a no trade list on him.
Yeah, and Dodgers are part of the list.
And somehow the Dodgers are on the list, which is surprising, right? Because like you would think, A, it's LA.
You have a chance of winning.
The Dodgers are actually good.
Yeah.
So you would still be there.
The reason why the Dodgers are not like fully up to the Dodgers level, even though they're still doing good, is because they're injured.
Yeah, so like Dave Roberts just said not just said, but like when he admitted that he was surprised. You don't know what his comfort level is. Maybe he's an East Coast guy. So yeah, he was one of the 10
I mean, he
teams.
did sign with Detroit, like when he was a free agent.
Yeah, but it also could be money too.
So who knows?
I mean, money transfers on a trade. So.
Yeah, I know, but I say who knows what happened. But yeah, Eduardo Rodriguez was definitely one of the top end starting pitcher available in the market for. So then Dodgers definitely would have needed him.
Then LA ended up getting Yarbrough. So
yeah, Yarbrough's a multi-inning guy coming out of the pen.
All right, so going back to your point.
Yeah, so who now you've deadline's done. Who do you think is coming out of the AL and the NL?
NL I'm still sticking with. Even though it's baseball, that's one thing I love baseball. It's not like the NBA, usually the favorite wins. Same thing with the NHL, right? With the MLB, I'm still gonna for the NL. I'm still sticking with Atlanta. I can't go against that team right now. Like they've been so dominant. Now, yeah, can they pull off a Boston Bruins or last year's version of the Dodgers or whatever? Sure, but I have to be convinced. And yes, they didn't add big things, but they didn't need to add big time things, right? You have the arguable MVP. You have the probable Cy Young winner, right? So 2 of them, right? They have like 2 stud pitchers. They added back another pitcher from injury. I forgot his name. You might know better.
Actually, I didn't hear about it. Who was the other pitcher's name? I forgot.
I'll look into that. But for me, it's the from that side, it's the Astros. Sorry, the Braves.
Yeah.
The other side, the AL is where it's tough, and
AL is a tough league in general.
For me right now, it's between 3 teams. It's the Texas Rangers.
Yeah, I'll definitely put Texas up there.
The Houston Astros, and the Baltimore Orioles.
You would put Orioles up there as well,
and
right?
I'm ranking Baltimore last just because of their inexperience. That's it. Like I don't want to like put them ahead, but it's because of their inexperience. I don't want to put them 1.
Yeah.
But then I could see like you could see a team like the Jays go hot they make the playoffs. They might just go hot in the playoffs or even right before the playoffs. You could see like I said, the Astros or the Rangers do the same thing. You know, potential Angels come out of nowhere, do the same thing. The Yankees or whoever, right? Not much the Yankees, but the Rays, for example.
But like at the current moment, like you can't argue.
If I were to pick one, I'm gonna go with the Rays or the Rangers.
Yeah, I'll go with the Rangers too.
Just because like I like what they did. I thought they were an underrated team from the beginning of the year, and you're my witness for that. And obviously we argued that on the like our expectations based on
the tier list video.
The tier list video. Check it out, by the way, banger. Yeah, so I'm gonna stick with the Rangers just because they have the experience. You know, Corey Seager's been there. Marcus Simeon's been in the playoffs with Oakland before they shit the bed. Obviously those
Scherzer, DeGrom.
Down you have Scherzer and DeGrom. Eovaldi's been there. I don't know how their bullpen is. They might still that might be their weakest point at this moment on the top of my head.
Bullpen's not definitely.
So that's what scares me. But like obviously on paper, you would want to I would want to say the Jays on paper, if everything gets clicked, they should go, and that's complete bias. But based on what we've seen on in the season, no, I have to see more consistency from them. And then and the Orioles are just too young for me. And then Houston, at the end of the day, you still have Dusty Baker, and
they just perform in the playoffs.
They perform in the playoffs.
Whether
now you could
banging trash cans or not, they still get it done, right? Right? Like
hey, if Rob Ranford doesn't take the trophy away or whatever, he might as well. So. But yeah, no, like, jokes aside, like, I would still, you brought back Verlander. You got Framber Valdez throwing no-hitters on, like, 90 pitches.
Valdez was struggling, bro. If you saw his July stats, you're like, what the hell happened?
Yeah, he was early Cy Young favorite, too. Early on. He was top 5.
Was he?
He was in the top 5 list.
Probably like his first start, but he wasn't really that
great.
But
you know, Yordan Alvarez has been injured. He might come back.
He's back.
He's back. So there you go. It's tough, but I'm going to stick with the Rangers just because I want to be a little different and stick with the team that I thought was under the radar at the beginning of the year.
By the way, the pitcher for Atlanta was Max Fried, and right now they said he's still on the IL. On the score says it. So right now
he might get activated this week or something.
Yeah, that'll be a big ad for them for sure. Yeah.
Okay. So last thing before we move on to soccer, because we have a lot to talk about there in terms of the Women's World Cup. I was gonna ask you this before we started the convo, but I was asking now. I heard this question on the radio. Which league, and I'm gonna throw in the January transfer window, not the summer transfer window, as well. So the 5 sports that we mainly watch and cover really on the pod, it has the best trade deadline.
Like recently or just in general?
General. I mean recently in general, like whatever. Best and worst. Like if you want to rank, you could rank it. I
mean right now it's NBA. The way their deadline's been the last couple of seasons, it's been pretty killer. A lot of player movement, right?
Yeah. Especially when like you had James Harden traded last a year and a half ago or 2 years ago.
I mean, NFL's the worst, right? NFL, nothing really happens.
I want to go NHL now.
Nah, I would still give NHL second last.
And NFL, at least, NFL, you've seen Von Miller get traded. You've seen some pieces get traded recently.
Last couple of years.
Like, yeah, overall, the NHL was better than the NFL, but the NHL now is trash because of the cap.
Yeah, it's getting
the hard
worse.
Cap is screwed.
I'll give it one more year. If NFL has another good deadline, then
you're going NFL last still?
I'll still go NFL last.
Yeah, because realistically, are you gonna really trade like a quarterback in the middle of the year? Not really, right? Like a top wide receiver, is he really gonna get traded in the middle of the year?
No,
unless it's like they're absolutely shit the bed. Like imagine if DeAndre Hopkins was still in the Cardinals, then I could see it happening. But you don't see like AJ Brown requesting a trade when he was in Tennessee in the middle of the year. Like, you don't see that happening.
You don't.
Right?
So, like, the thing with NHL...
There's so much control with the player
Yeah, the
as
thing
well.
with NHL...
The team control as well,
Yeah,
early on.
The thing with NHL, like, there has been, like... This deadline wasn't that bad for NHL. If you think
It
about
wasn't, but it was
like,
just
you
like...
got Timo Meier moving, you got Patrick Kane moving, you got Vladimir
It's just like
Tarasenko
it made
moving.
it so hard and unpredictable. Like,
It was a big deadline this year.
It was. It's just like the caps part is like, okay, I know you got to retain like
obviously,
60% of the salary for the year or whatever the case may be. But
yeah, but no, I'll give NFL last, NHL second last.
I'm going January transfer window second or first.
You going January transfer window?
Yeah, I'm gonna put MLB third. I think they're
not summer, right?
I'm putting MLB third just because
Yeah,
I feel like it's up and like this
I'm
year was like
giving NBA
meh.
one.
This year's was genuinely meh.
Yeah, MLB, like the one thing that favors MLB to make
Teams
it
love to sell
Yeah.
and get prospects no matter what. How many years are left on their contract too? At
yeah,
times.
right. The teams love to get prospect depending.
Yeah.
Like obviously, Mets traded their 2 best pitchers,
Yeah,
and then the thing with MLB, there's a lot of positions help, with the player movement as
Yeah.
well.
January transfer window I guess
go
recently
second.
hasn't been as good as it used to be. But like you heard names like Matag, January transfer window. You got Coutinho was a January transfer window. This past year, or Bruno Fernandes was a January transfer window. Enzo Fernandez, right? Mikhail Mudryk for Chelsea, even though he's struggling now.
Okay. You just made your case work. Am I gonna move
No,
into
I'm just
3
saying
now?
in general, like those were big names you would see usually move in the summer. For how much Mudryk went for, it's still a lot.
Yeah, but it's Chelsea.
Right? Like Man United fell off because their owners are shit and they don't want to do anything in the January transfer window to be exact. I know they spend money in the summer, but it's weird. But like, yeah, it fell off, but a little bit. But like, yeah, he's like Enzo Fernandez, is a name you don't see get sold in the winter.
Yeah, I know the bigger ones definitely do happen in the summer. That's for sure. So I mean, it's a coin toss for me between MLB and January transfer window. But for me, recently NBA just taking the number 1 spot.
Yeah. I mean, if you get Kevin Durant traded in the middle of the year with 4 years left on his contract or whatever it is, it's gotta be. So
yes.
Okay, I think that's it for the MLB.
Yes.
Moving on. I already mentioned Dylan. Yeah. You want to go soccer right now? They're big.
Yeah, let's go soccer.
Okay, so we'll go to the Women's World Cup first, and we'll start off with Canada. And
what the fuck?
yeah, so Canada, obviously, if you guys haven't noticed by now, we are Canadian, so we're big soccer fans anyways. We're going to support Canada thick and through unless some bullshit happens, behind the scenes, whatever, right? Legally, I mean. But we get up for like 3 a.m. during this game on a Monday. So I have work, you have work. We're like, okay, just need a win or a draw and they're through. And I'm always going to wake up. I don't care if it was male or female, whoever was playing. Because like, at the end of the day, we got to recognize the women put Canada soccer on the map, right?
Yeah, but
so I'm going to support that, especially with the Olympic gold they won last time. But they got their ass kicked for nothing. And we have 2 different perspectives of it, but we agree with each other as well, like everybody on internet. Now, the thing that I mentioned, I remember last week, just to keep it out there, we were going to bring on someone. Unfortunately, we weren't able to schedule it. So I'm hoping we could still get it done because we're going to get into the Canada soccer bullshit as well. And we know a little bit of it, but we want to know the details. So we don't know that too much. So I was in contact with someone to come on the pod for the first time ever, but it didn't work out at the moment. So we're hoping that happens still. But for now, we're going to just give our thoughts. So let's talk about the game itself first and overall World Cup. Just to make it clear, they lost 4-0, which means they're out of the World Cup. But go.
Yeah, they finished 3rd. Australia got 6 now. Nigeria has 5 points. Canada has 4. And then Ireland finished with 1. So,
your thoughts?
Yeah, it was fucking dreadful. What
I thought you were gonna go on a huge rant.
Bro, it was terrible. Like, you made me lose sleep. That's what, like, if it was a game, it was like at 3-4 o'clock, I would have gotten over it.
Technically, it was 3 o'clock.
No, like
PM.
PM.
Yeah.
Like, I would have gotten over it.
Yeah.
But you made me lose sleep, and I'm still catching up to sleep this week right now.
Yeah.
So, no, like, it was just terrible. Like, right, there's excuses to be made, obviously.
Which I'm gonna get into in a sec.
Which will happen, right? But like, at this point, the game that the players put on the field, the coach put on the field, right? What they showed on the field, that's on the players and the coach. All right. Like, there's a difference between the Nigeria game and this game. The Nigeria game, you could tell that they weren't prepared. And that's obviously, did they have those friendlies before the World Cup to
Well, they didn't
prepare.
execute either, but yeah.
But yeah, they didn't execute. But like you could tell, like there was a little bit off by that. But you know what they were doing in the Nigeria game that they didn't do in Ireland and in Australia? They were still hustling. They were still pressing. They were
Keeping the
still
ball.
winning 50-50 balls. They were defending well. Right? That shit just on the players. That's hustle. That's what you like. I could do that. Right? You could do that. But like genuinely, those things are like that's just a skill issue. That's a player issue right there.
I would skill issue differently, hustle issue, like mindset issue.
Yeah, no, it's still same thing.
Coaching. I'm gonna go into the coaching. Like I'll let you go into coaching in a second. Bev Priestman, as much as I praise her in-game changes, which she's done well, her tactics haven't been there. I don't know how much is like she really wants to be Christine St. Clair or not. But obviously she got it wrong. The attack is nowhere to be seen. I understand Janine Becky's injured, as Jessie Fleming was injured the first game, which is why nothing was executed properly. Ireland, the first half it was just more no effort, whereas the second half there was effort and you saw the changes. But gotta look at the coaching a little bit there, because you always don't want to play from behind. And for whatever reason, the defense fell apart in the third game. Like the first two games,
fell apart.
That one question I was gonna ask that guest was like, does Canada have the best defense? And then all of a sudden that game happens.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much of that was like. Again, I was listening to the Northern Football podcast hosted by Peter Glindo, Alex Ganjer-Ruzic, if I'm saying that correctly, and I forgot the other guy. He's a host, but they were mentioning like similar things. Like there was no communication on the field. It seems like Jade Riviere didn't know where to be. Quinn was confused of where to be. Now you're doing the same thing as you did in the Olympics. The problem with that was you don't have Desiree Scott. She's out injured. You don't have Jade Rose. You don't have Nichelle Prince on the field because she came back from injury. Steph Labe was your goalie, right? So you're asking Quinn and Julia Grosso to who didn't start then to start and play that CDM role, which they're not. Quinn is more of a 8. Grosso's more of a 8/10, if you want to say it, right? Girls like Jordan Heidema didn't start back then. Now she's a starter. Jade Riviere, same thing. So like half the team was different, and they were playing the same tactics. So that's where the other thing was. And I'm gonna get to the federation because the lack of practice also showed. But yeah, before I go into that,
yeah, obviously there's blame to be thrown around everywhere, but we can't.
Like we're not saying
we cannot blame the players. Need to be at fault,
lack of
and
effort,
the coaching
yeah.
need to be at
Christine
fault
St. Clair
too.
said it perfectly. Now I'm gonna get into the Canada soccer side of things. She essentially said, about the federation, it's not on them for how we performed, but I hope they wake up and realize like we have the talent and potential to step up and stuff. Now, this is where I'm gonna go. Everything you said I agree with. I'm not disagreeing with anything you're saying, right? This is not me and you arguing, but I'm gonna go at Canada soccer a little bit now because we already kind of went on the players on the men's side of things. We went to the now we're going after the women. Again, everybody watching at home that's into Canada soccer or whoever watches Canada soccer, we're not blaming the players. The players deserve 100% of the blame. The coaching staff deserves 100% of the blame as well. But two things can be right. And but it's also not a coincidence when the glory days of the men were when they qualified for the fucking World Cup, right? Moments after, labor issues, federation issues come out. They struggle at the World Cup. They struggle at the Gold Cup. They put a dreadful performance in the Nations League. The women, they win the Olympic gold. Look what happened. They had that one tournament against the U.S. in the final, which they lost. They could have qualified for the World Cup. Oh, sorry, not just to the World Cup, but and the Olympics, but the U.S. ended up winning. Outside of that performance, they performed well. The minute the She Believes Cup comes out, same thing happens. Labor issues, they're on strike. You're going to sue them, blah, blah, blah. Right? During this World Cup, the men season desist letter comes out. Yes, was that some of a distraction? For sure. Again, I'm not saying that it's 100% on the federation for the way the women performed, but it's not a fucking coincidence. The women carried this this program since 2012 especially. The men were nowhere to be fucking found. The women were the reason why Canada soccer was in this position. Otherwise, me and you would not fucking give a shit about Canada soccer at all if we had no reason to it. Do we watch cricket? No, because fucking Canada's not involved properly. I understand we're Indian, but I'm not. That's a different side of things. Or you look at other sports as well, right? Basketball. Did we give a shit about Canada basketball until now? Not really. The women finally are doing decent. Kia Nurse is leading the way, but now we're gonna get into the FIBA World Cup, but we're excited to watch because Canada basketball is doing something. The progress the women and then eventually the men made, huge shout out to John Herdman because he was the big factor for both sides of things. Now we're taking a step backward. How the hell do we not have a proper striker? I understand Jordan Heidema is not performing at the international level. She's doing well at the club level, right? This isn't like a bum ass player who's not doing well. There's a reason why PSG picked her up. But how come she's not doing well to succeed Christine St. Clair? Right? Before this fucking World Cup, and I understand that the woman, there are other countries in this World Cup that did not have the funding or whatever. But their expectations are different. I understand Nigeria doesn't have that. I understand Vietnam. I understand Philippines did not have that. But Canada Soccer just showed you they won Olympic gold. Where is their training? Where is their practices? Because it's fucking bullshit that they only had to play 3 She Believes Cup games and 1 closed friendly that we don't know what happened in. And then the She Believes Cup games were under mega distraction because they were genuinely on strike. Right? The men's side of things. You finally have a fucking superstar, arguably one of the faces of overall athlete in Canada, in Alphonso Davies. You can mark it off of him. Yeah, you signed this 20-year deal with CSB, and I understand there's some benefits with CSB that we got the CPL League, which is why we got the World Cup. And I'm not gonna ramble too much on that because we wanted a guest for that reason. But a 20-year deal sounds pretty stupid right now. If it was a 5-year deal and then you renegotiate, that makes much sense. But they gotta fucking wake up because you're telling me that no one can succeed Christine St. Clair? How the hell are the US women and men propelling? The US men do not give a shit. The US as a whole have basketball ahead of soccer, has football ahead of soccer, has baseball ahead of soccer. How the hell, now you could even argue hockey a little bit is up there tied with soccer right now. It makes no sense to me that you have no proper professional league, which shout out Diana Matheson, the Project 8 is starting in 2025. If it goes well, that's the key thing. We don't know. We have a cousin, and I'm saying this is my opinion. This is not anything Jeevan telling me or whatever the case may be or his parents are telling me. This is strictly my opinion. I don't know if you're going to share the same opinion. But how the hell do the women, the U17, the U20 women's, the U17 and U20 men's do not perform well recently? The U17 and 20 women do not perform well at the World Cup.
So
how are you going to develop these players?
So when we were watching Jeevan's game for the qualifiers, right?
Yeah.
Canada played USA in the semifinals.
Huge difference.
There was a huge difference. Reason being, the commentator said himself. Canada had what? 1 or 2 camps, right?
Something like that, yeah.
1 or 2 camps, and USA had like 6, 7.
Yeah, so, I'm not going on this tangent. I don't know who's going to watch this. I don't know if I'm making even any sense talking about this. This is beauty of the podcast. This is where I'm sharing my opinion. 100% I agree with Joven about the women performing poorly, and 100% I agree with him about the men performing poorly. That has nothing to do with it. They got to be a little bit more professional than that. But it also, you got to blame the federation for not setting up proper training camps, not setting up proper friendlies against the top countries of the world. None of this bullshit, let's play a friendly against Curacao before a World Cup. I'm talking about if you're playing England in the first round, or first group game, or in Canada's case, you're playing Croatia, are they going to fucking play even Poland at the most? All right?
This is a European country.
Just a European country. Canada might qualify for the Copa America. Okay? Are they going to play other Uruguayan or other South American teams that are not in their group? Are they going to play these European teams? We don't know. There's rumors saying that only one of the teams, out of the men or women, could go on the on their international break. Only one of them could go. How does that make sense? And it's going to be the woman probably first because they have to qualify for the Olympics. And we don't know how much of this is going to get better, both on their performance side and their coaching side, plus their the negotiations. Sophie Schmidt just retired. Next to St. Clair, she put Canada Soccer on the map. Christine St. Clair played her last World Cup game, and we don't know if this was her last official game. They went out like that. Now, that's on the players, but that's also on Canada Soccer.
Same with Atiba Hutchison.
Atiba Hutchison went out bad as well. So, I don't know. At this point, we love soccer. We're so happy Canada is involved. We didn't know what the hell was going on behind the scenes. Now we do, and we hope it gets better, but we don't know if it is.
Bro, okay, so I'm just going to say this, right? When we saw the woman win bronze in 2012 Olympics, right?
2012 and 2016, yes.
2012, yeah, but I'm just going in timeline, right?
Which they were screwed for a gold medal game, but anyways, continue.
How, once we learned about that, we were actually pumped up to watch the 2015 World Cup, especially also it was in Canada.
It was in Canada.
Right? And then we got pumped up to watch the 2016 Olympics again.
And they won bronze.
They won bronze. The 2020
2019 World Cup was bad.
2019 World Cup was bad, but we still watched the games, right?
Yeah.
And then what? The next one was the 2020 Olympics, which was in 2021 for, everyone knows why. Whereas gold medal, Tokyo, we were up in the morning watching.
I was on the packed SkyTrain going to work.
Yeah, we were watching the games, right?
Yeah.
So
top of the world.
We got excited. So then when we learned that Canada
men's team
made that little they had to play 2 qualifiers. Obviously,
they made it out.
They had to qualify.
Usually, they don't even make the Ocho. It's called the Ocho. The 8 teams in the top 3 make it, and the 4th team goes to
they don't even make the Ocho, right?
Yeah.
And they made the Ocho, and then we got all hyped up. And that's not only us. The stadiums were jam packed in the snow.
Yeah,
right.
The Azteca.
We
beat USA and Mexico. We drew the Mexican team at Azteca in Mexico.
So now you're getting a product, right? That's sellable, that's watchable in both sides of the program at that point, which was
never the case until
which was legit a year ago,
mainly the
right?
woman, mainly the woman was only carrying them. But
but 1 year ago you had a thing where like
2021
the qualifiers were legit 1 year ago, right?
Yeah.
So you had a thing where both the men and the women were at their peak.
Yeah.
Basically, and you had a product. So it was a different story if they're both shit and you're not getting any money. Right? But you got a product, people are watching, people are buying the tickets, and you take a step backwards? Worse even before how do you go worse before when they were shit? They're worse right now than they were than when they were when the teams were shit. They were in a better situation then than they are now.
Yeah,
I don't understand that. I don't understand
I don't blame the players for wanting more money because they're outplaying exactly what they did. They're carrying the name Canada on the map in soccer, right? Again, I'm not absolving their play at both of their respective World Cups and other tournaments they have played. I'm not absolving that, but I'm still saying, future sakes, how is this team gonna improve? Jeevan has a sister that plays soccer. Is it going to work? Is a U17 World Cup even going to happen in Indonesia this year? We don't know because we don't know what the details behind the CSB, CSA shit is. And yeah, I think I'm going to just leave it there. It's frustrating because we finally, when people ask us who we root for the World Cup, we want to say Canada. When I say Spain, you say Argentina, whatever, right? Well, especially people that don't know soccer much, why not Canada? Because they never fucking make it. I was so happy and pumped that we qualified for the World Cup, and it's because we did not host it, unlike the one in 2026, which we probably should have qualified for anyways based on recent performance and the World Cup qualifiers. We genuinely qualified and topped the Ocho. So that's the frustrating part for me. Canada soccer needs to figure their shit out. Yes, the players need to figure their shit out and perform better. And yeah, we go on from there because if Canada soccer can't figure their shit out, Bev Priestman and John Herdman both have kind of stated they were willing to leave as well. And I don't think you'll find anyone better on the men's side for sure that you're gonna get, because if you can't afford John Herdman or the team properly, how the hell are you gonna afford a top level coach? Unless there's someone completely we don't know about. And the women's side of things, there are some people that are mentioned, but again, I don't know them personally. Not at a personal, I'm not saying at a personal level. I don't know the coach / former Canadian player personally. Carmelina Moscato, the girl that was
she was an analyst.
The analyst, she was arguably the coach. But Peter Galindo on his podcast said, why would she want to? She left Tigres. I don't know if she was coaching the men or the women, because they were having funding issues and stuff. Why the hell would she come here?
Yeah, so it just genuinely recently, after I don't know, 1 year ago when you're at your best, 1 year later, everything just fell apart with the federation, the money, the players playing poorly, coaches not putting out their best tactic and losing the battles before. So it just fell apart.
Everything from players to coaching to the federation is the reason why the women got out of the World Cup.
Yeah,
really.
So it genuinely.
I genuinely do believe though if the federation was okay and good terms, I understand the women signed an interim thing, but it's an interim thing. I felt like they would have been performing way better because they would have had the camps and stuff. But again, to your point, you never know.
They didn't hustle.
Yeah.
If you don't hustle, you're not winning games.
But again, yeah. To that point.
Australia and Ireland outran you.
Yeah.
So you're not winning that game no matter how many camps.
Like we said, both of us make our points. We both agree with each other. Both things are right.
Yeah.
From both men and women perspective.
Everyone is to blame.
Yeah. So we're gonna leave it there. I mean, we got a clipable moment.
How much are you sweating, bro? You went off.
Yeah. I mean, you can't blame me.
Huh?
I'm not the only Canadian guy going off. Our group chat's going off, like, saying, like, how the hell are... I'm not getting into the politics, but, like, get involved, right? So, we want to see soccer succeed in Canada, and we need to see it. But let's move on to the World Cup still. Another upset, similar to Christine St. Clair playing her 6th World Cup. Brazilian legend, soccer legend,
Marta.
Marta.
Marta? Marta, that's what I said.
I heard Marta with like a TH.
Oh.
But I say Marta. Similar vibes, 6th World Cup, did not make it out of the group stage. And so, this is okay, I forgot this part of my rant. I'm not going to rant though. Other countries are getting better. Whether it be by will and willpower, or whether it be on talent or whatever, other countries are now on the map. And the perfect example is because the US barely survived. US did make it. They're second in their group, but they barely beat Vietnam. Think about it.
It was 3-0 win.
But like last time we versed a team at that level, they won 10-0. Remember the Haiti?
Yeah, then they tied Netherlands and then they tied Portugal.
They were losing Netherlands and they got hit. They got lucky with a post apparently in the last second where Carly Lloyd was like pissed off. Why is this team celebrating? Right. So the talent is getting there. England's on the map.
It's catching
Germany,
up. Yeah, England's
France,
definitely
Canada should have been there
because
but
USA, it was legit USA or nothing before, but now England's definitely good competition.
Netherlands,
France has always been there.
Sweden,
Netherlands made the finals. Sweden, obviously.
Like that was making me more frustrating because Canada, if they just played properly, could have challenged the US again, like they did in the Olympics.
It was actually like, I thought in the beginning of this World Cup as I would be USA or no one, but now when you see the results, watch a few games, right?
Are you still sticking with your prediction?
It's still open. Like it's actually open. So Canada playing poorly and obviously not getting the resources and help, just kind of fucked up their chances.
Or are you still sticking with your prediction?
I'm still gonna stick with USA. I think they're just gonna find a way.
Yeah.
Right. It's gonna be a different way. It's not gonna be a dominating way that they always do. But I feel like they'll find a way still.
Yeah. So like the teams that did qualify, that are surprising teams that qualified.
South Africa got their first ever win.
Yeah.
They beat Italy.
And they're qualified.
And to qualify that.
Yeah.
So they I think they got their
Nigeria also qualified, and Morocco just missed.
Yeah.
There's a third team I believe that qualified. No, okay. Here's Canada's playing Jamaica, right? To qualify for the Olympics in a home away in September, so they have to do a quick turnaround if they want to even make the Olympics next year.
So what is like home and away?
Jamaica is the team that beat
Jamaica.
I don't know.
So there's 2 games?
I think they said it's a home and away, so I don't know. We'll see. It might be legs, yeah. I'll look into it. But Jamaica finished second in the group ahead of Brazil, and we're playing.
Jamaica's on the come up.
So
Nigeria's on the come up. Nigeria performed well in the World Cup.
Yes.
Australia's performed well. South Africa, who's never gotten a result, I believe, in the World Cup, got a draw.
Results, yeah.
And then we're beating Sweden in the first game, and beat Italy to make it to the knockout stages.
Yeah, so that's the update of the Women's World Cup.
I won't be surprised if they don't qualify the Olympics. Now,
people are saying that
but
too.
At least one thing that pisses me about the players, shouldn't this light a fire in your ass? But saying that we need to prove this federation wrong. That because the way they performed in the World Cup kind of helps in the federation case. That saying they're gonna be you guys play like shit. Why will we play you? Why will we pay you now?
Yeah,
type of thing. So I feel like they should have had a little bit more pride, a little bit more.
Oh no, for sure. I 100% agree with that.
So
it is a 2-game series in September for a spot at the 2024 Paris Olympics. Canada defeated Jamaica in the semifinals of the tournament.
Talk louder. This is mumbling, bro.
So Canada defeated Jamaica in that semifinal where they lost to the US 1-0 in the final.
Yeah.
The Canadians beat Sweden. I get that. They were playing the Women's World Cup because this is before the Women's World Cup.
So there's nothing really shown right now.
Nothing. I think it might be legs. Makes sense.
Whatever. So let's go on, move on.
Legend retiring. Let's just get off that.
One of the best goalkeepers ever. Definitely one of the best in our generation. When we watch soccer, Gianluigi Buffon
retires at the age of 45. Playing for Parma, who's a Div 1 team, Serie A Div 1 team. So,
didn't he start his career with Parma too?
Don't know.
I'm pretty sure he did.
But yeah, he's officially called it a career. The dude's still playing. You would think he would be chilling somewhere in the lower divisions in Italy or chilling in MLS somewhere making money. But Yeah, legend of the game. You know, helped Italy win the World Cup back in 2006. The Euros, he wasn't the goalie, but I don't even know if he was on the squad, to be honest. But
was he? I don't even know. But obviously, Donnarumma started the Euros.
Yeah, but won the World Cup. Obviously, didn't win the big one with Juventus.
Made a Euro.
Went to PSG randomly for a year.
Yeah, made a Euro 2012 final.
Yeah, but lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To Spain, lost to Spain, and then Gianluigi Buffon.
Arguably, some people's GOAT.
Some people's GOAT for goalie. Obviously, you could argue Casillas as well.
Yeah.
And then multiple league titles with Juventus. So
was loyal to Juventus.
Loyal to Juventus as well, right? When they got relegated. So definitely one of the legends of the game. Sad to see. Now, it sucks because I don't think you got the back three and the goalie with Bonucci, Barzagli, and Chiellini with Buffon and net was probably one of the best defensive trio, center back trio, right? You could think of when they play a 3-back, and obviously you have one of the best goalies. Definitely, they always put on a masterclass when they're on the pitch. So 45 years old. That's a lot.
All right, moving. Let me just double check if there's any signings that happened quickly. But
I think
Rasmus Højlund, quickly, Man United mentioned he's supposed to be presented this weekend. So the shitty part is he's not going to get any game time before the season starts. So classic front office. But couple of things here. I don't know how true this is. The first thing I literally just saw, Mbappe has told Chelsea he is open to joining them but only on a 1-year loan deal.
Yeah,
there's no Champions League. I don't know. Oh, this is the big news. Gonzalo Ramos is to PSG is practically done.
Oh wow,
65 million.
Hat trick in the World Cup.
65 million plus 15. He's the guy who was famously got Ronaldo benched in a way. But,
got a hat trick.
He was United's backup option. But
it's a round of 16 game against Switzerland.
Yeah.
So, and then obviously Portugal eliminated after the next round. So, yeah.
Sadio Mane officially joins Al Nassr, which is Ronaldo's team.
Wasn't there a Gvardiol news?
Nothing really.
Nothing. I thought they agreed. I thought there was some sort of
reports got voided, and now they're saying that they're close to being agreement. So
they're close to being agreement again.
Fabrizio Romano was also famous for saying Bruno to City was almost done, but it didn't obviously happen. So, during the time, literally after that, we signed him.
Yeah.
Nothing big. Otherwise, Harry Kane to Bayern could be done soon.
Yeah. So. You got PL starting in 2 weeks, right?
Like a week.
Next Friday?
Yeah. August 11th.
Oh.
9 days
away. Okay, yeah, that's 9 days away. So.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move on. Let's go to Quickfire. UFC big fight got announced. Ankalaev, the guy who should have probably had the light heavyweight belt before Jamal Hill, is fighting on the Abu Dhabi card. Right now, the rumor is he's fighting Ankalaev is fighting Johnny Walker, who's the ranked 6th. Both of them are on pretty good hot streaks, right? Obviously, Ankalaev drew though, but to ruin the win streak. But the rumor is Yuri, if healthy, will verse Pereira for a potential title fight as well.
That's gonna be a good fight.
Last thing about soccer. We were mentioning Canada soccer earlier. Whitecaps.
Oh yeah, Whitecaps made moves.
Making moves. Now, no, it's not Messi level moves, but it's Richie Larea, Sam Adekubi, who had European stints. Well, Richie Larea was on loan to TFC. Whitecaps are making moves. So those of you that care about the MLS, our cousin, one of our cousins, not Jeevan, he plays for the Whitecaps, that's different. I'm talking about one of our cousins that actually follows the MLS. Should be pumped right now.
Yeah, no,
they're actually making decent moves to the point where I actually want to go to a game now. But so that's that. But going back to what was that on UFC? Oh yeah, I just announced.
UFC, Ankalaev, Walker,
FIBA World Cup.
Also, another thing we'll just quickly mention right now: Nate Diaz versus Jake Paul this weekend.
Oh yeah, I mean, technically it's a professional bout, so. We'll see what happens with that. I guess another professional fight that got announced was Tommy Fury versus KSI.
Yeah, we're not gonna go too much into it.
Just because I know some people have opinions on YouTuber boxing, but even though this technically professional.
It's technically professional. I mean, we'll see. I mean, if KSI does beat a boxer,
would you classify Jake Paul as a professional boxer at this point now?
Huh?
He only faced technically one professional boxer.
He only faced one professional boxer.
Otherwise, he's fought fighters, but.
Yeah, but I mean, you give them respect a little bit. Like, they work hard for this, so Yeah, but like, you got to kind of face the best to be classified as one as well.
Yeah. Okay. FIBA, just mentioning quickly that it's beginning at the end of the month.
Training
camps have begun, at least for Canada. So we'll see who gets cut. People are saying that even potentially an NBA player might get cut, not the top end ones, but like just because of the chemistry. Because keep in mind, these tournaments go on during the NBA season, so a lot of these guys actually carry Canada to this point as well. The guys like Kevin Pangos, the Scrub brothers, and yeah, no, their actual last name is Scrub.
I was like, bro, did you just roast
No,
them?
their actual last name is Scrub.
So they're not scrubs.
You know the funny thing is?
They're not scrubs, right?
No. Well, compared to NBA standards, sure. But they're from North Van, right? My buddy at work, apparently that's his teacher's kids, and his teacher was the basketball coach at their school.
Oh, actually?
Yeah. When he heard the name Scrub, I showed him. He's like, yeah, I know these guys. I was like, oh, what the hell? But yeah.
So they're good.
They're key parts of it, yeah. Like Zach Edey and them. Obviously, well, he's young, but yeah, Melvin Edgem. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, for FIBA levels, they're decent, right? They out of the non-NBA people. Obviously, we're excited. Hopefully,
I'm just excited to see the Shea Jamal Murray backcourt.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking forward to.
So that has started. I think the USA they have a fixed 12-man roster, so Canada has a chance. That's all I gotta say. Don't make me rant about Canada basketball too.
They go downhill now too.
Yeah. Okay, moving on. NFL very quickly. Did you see the beef between Aaron Rodgers, Nathaniel Hackett, and that coaching staff with Robert Saleh and Sean Payton?
Did we not mention this last time?
Did we?
We did.
Oh.
Yeah.
My bad.
I mean, obviously a big issue because
Nathaniel Hackett came out and just said like he broke the coach's
he broke the code.
That came after that.
I mean, quick recap is Hackett was the Broncos coach last year. Broncos shot the bed completely, got fired. Sean Payton comes in, roasts Hackett, saying that last year they were shit. We're going to do completely opposite things this year.
The Jets are randomly talked about because of the...
No, but like Jets, the reason why they're talked about is because Hackett's Jets OC as well.
Yeah, and they're saying...
So then obviously, and then taking shots at the Jets, like saying that, oh, all these teams are... This seems like overhyped.
Hard Knocks.
Right, Hard Knocks and all that stuff. But like, let's see if they actually do good. Then Salah comes back. It's like, yo, if you don't have haters, you ain't doing anything right.
No, if you got haters, you ain't popping.
Yeah, you ain't popping. And then Rodgers comes out saying, keep your coach name out of the mouth. Yeah. Just defending his coach.
And Sean Payton just said, we're past that. So.
And then, yeah. So, I mean, week 5, stamp it. Jets versus Broncos. See what happens.
All right. Other NFL news quickly, potential injuries and stuff. No update on the JT stuff. We're not going to get into that. You guys could check out the new video. Thanks for the support on that video as well. First off, injuries. Tim Patrick ruptured his Achilles. Will miss his second straight season after tearing his ACL last year.
Yeah, that's tough. That's very tough. And I think KJ Hamler is out for them as well.
Yeah, because he had some sickness that he got found with or something.
Yeah, so like he has to step away.
Colts.
It's terrible.
Obviously, I just mentioned JT. Zach Moss suffered a broken arm and will miss the 6 weeks.
So our highest rushing attempt guy is
Gardner Minshew.
Gardner Minshew's our highest attempt.
But yeah, no, right now it's Deion Jackson and rookie Evan Hall.
Deion Jackson is good.
Yeah,
but we'll see how Evan Hall does too.
Yeah, Browns host defensive tackle Shelby Harris. Vikings will meet with free agent Dalton Risner. Trey Turner, not the Phillies guy, the guard. Was picked up by the Saints, I believe, and literally the next day he's out for the year.
Actually,
I think he tore something. Yeah.
Training camp, bro. I think recently there's been a lot more injuries these last couple of years, right?
And then you got like Travis Kelce fighting. Like, check out Jovan Short on his conspiracy theory, by the way. More other news that happened today at the time of this recording. Let me just pull it up. Oh, Cooper Kupp also left practice. The Rams are a team that I'm kind of interested in seeing what will happen.
I think Rams would be like... I don't think they have the O-line.
All right, here we go. Some big news out of this. Cooper Kupp has a hamstring injury. Team will be cautious of his return. Steelers rookie cornerback Corey Trice will miss entire season. Colts work out Kenny and Drake running back. Makes sense. Raiders work out Jalen Smith and Ronnie Harrison. Okay, pretty good linebacker and D-back there. Well, passer prime. Colts sign wide receiver and kick returner Amari Rodgers. You know that one or no?
Amari Rodgers, yeah, he is a kid.
Texans sign tight end Nick Vannett and OJ Howard released by the
Texans?
No, by the Raiders.
Oh,
and
so
then they signed Fabian Moro.
Okay, well.
Right here. Raiders release OJ Howard. Patriots signed Jalen Hurd. Broncos signed Fabian Moreau. Sorry.
All right.
And Browns will start Kellen Mond on Thursday night in Hall of Fame game. Oh, NFL football's back. If you guys are wondering, at the time this recording
You did say that.
Huh?
Yeah, you don't say it at the beginning.
I'll say it again. NFL. It's a Hall of Fame game, so it's just like a regular preseason game. It's on Thursday. So when this pod comes out, if you guys missed NFL football, tune in. Otherwise, preseason starts the week after. Last thing, big news though. Kamara is meeting up with Alvin Kamara from the Saints is meeting up with Roger Goodell to discuss the potential suspension, which threw me by surprise because I thought there were no charges. This is from like the end of the regular season, I believe, postseason, about like some assault thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, a little surprised to see how long the suspension is gonna be, if there is one. Go on from there. That's it with that. Let's end it off with some NHL, and it's the season of arbitration. But let's start off with the first big signing, Troy Terry.
Got his extension.
So before that, this was they submitted their arbitration, right? And you know how there was a big gap in the Samsonov ones?
Yeah.
So the team submitted a $4.5 million salary for Troy Terry. The player submitted $8 million.
Oh God.
So like,
what the hell?
But obviously, I had that saved from when I saw the tweet by Elliot Friedman.
That's for like obviously
But
for 1
this
year
ended up signing a 7-year, $7 million. So 7-year, $49 million total.
extension.
Yeah, makes
So,
sense. Troy Terry's one of their young guys.
Yeah, I go lock them up. So
Bet them young early. Canucks learn something.
yeah,
But
it might be a steal contract. In 2 years.
Jeremy Swayman gets 1 year, 3.47. What are these random numbers in contracts now?
3.74.
475 contract in arbitration. Wild sign goalie Gustafson
Philip Gustafson.
to 3 years, $11.25 million extension to avoid
The
arbitration. The last, I think that's it.
That's it.
I already
right?
said Jeremy Swayman, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the update on the NHL one. The preseason should be starting in a month's time as well. So, obviously, it's at that point now where not much news is gonna happen. So yeah,
we're definitely getting to the MLB stretch now. August, September, who will prevail, make the postseason. So expect a lot of MLB talk now, for sure. And yeah, we're gonna get to a point in 2 months where like every sport's going on at once.
yeah, and we're gonna be drained.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to
talk
about that.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, I guess. So, fun talk. You saw our rant.
So I'm pissed off for once.
Right?
And it's not fun seeing him pissed off just for living with him, right? It's just scary. It's scary. And so please help me. Hopefully he calms down now.
I'm good.
Are you sure?
You were equally as pissed as me in a way.
No, you were. I've never seen you go off like this in a while.
But you agree with everything I said.
Yeah,
so there you go. It's not like I was yelling at you, but thank you guys for watching all the way through. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Rate, review, download the podcast on the audio platforms. We appreciate that, and give us a 5-star rating if you enjoy it. And other than that, we'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.